Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're going to take a look at Perrserker in the Open Ultra League. This Pokemon is a very interesting Pokemon. It has access to the move Shadow Claw, which is one of the best fast moves in the game, as well as having great coverage and in very good typing. It is single type, steel typing, which doesn't give it any stab moves, but it just gives it a ton of resistances. And also in the current meta, it's going to be very good against something like a Jellicent. You're going to have super effective damage, both with your fast move as well as with your charge move. We're going to have here a team with the Deoxys defense in the lead. This is of course a very bulky Pokemon that's also a little bit expensive, as well as we're going to have the Swampert of the Dubwool. Dubwool having access to the move Payback, going to be very good against ghost types. We have already the Perrserker, which is going to be very good against ghost types, and even against something like a Scrafty or an Obstagoon, we have two counter users or like two fighting type fast move users on this team, which can handle this pretty well. This first one here going to be a little bit tricky to still deal with, as we're going to see here the opponent going to be able to go ahead, go into the Pidgeot. They're going to knock out our Deoxys here. Now it's all coming down to... Oh, it actually doesn't knock them out. It's all coming down to Dubwool, which is going to be able to go for one Body Slam before it gets debuffed, which is very important for this matchup. Let's take a look. The Scrafty still has quite a bit HP left here, so we can go ahead and go for the Body Slam spam. Going to do some decent damage here. Getting the extra fast move through this might be crucial for the late game. Let's take a look at this one. We're going to go straight for the Body Slam here. Going to do some decent damage against the opponent again, as Dubwool going to knock out the opponent's Scrafty. And even though we were at a disadvantage there in terms of the typing, Dubwool is just beating through. Like, if you actually really want to have a Pokemon for this new meta here, like, try to get a good Dubwool. Of course, Dubwool is difficult to get. You can still use different Swampert alternatives here as well. But Dubwool is very, very good right now. You can use, for example, a Snorlax or Greedent as well. Snorlax even more than the Greedent, because of Snorlax having the coverage with superpower being very, very decent as a Swampert in this current meta as well. So, like, if you can't have the Dubwool, this would be an alternative. But Dubwool is like, it's just better. It's just the better Pokemon here. We're going to encounter a Pokemon that I don't want to face with our Perrserker in the back, which is going to be here the Talonflame. We can go for one charge move here, and we should swap out here into the Dubwool so the opponent doesn't get extra farm. We can let the first move go through, which is going to be a Flame Charge, which is going to be very good for us. But in comes now a Torrkiss. Do they have the new move, what's called Aurorus here? We will find out shortly maybe. But it doesn't really matter too much anyway, because, yeah, like, we're going to go down here with our Dubwool. I don't think we... Never mind, Dubwool is just too broken. Never mind at all here. We're going to still be able to get the knockout. And now it's coming all down to if we can beat them with our Perrserker against the opponent here. We're going to be able to go ahead and just stay in here. Show stopped out maybe onto the potential Flame Charge. Would have helped me out a bit. But we can go for one charge move here right now. This will do around 40% of the opponent's health. And as you can see here, we can still shield up another charge move and go for another charge move of our own, because they shouldn't be able to reach another one as well. And we're just going to go for the Troll move and go for the close combat, because why not? It's going to be enough anyway, so why not go for the resistant move? Next opponent, Aurorus here. Aurorus has literally nowhere to go for this team. Like, we have a lead that's completely beating it, we have a Swampert that's beating it, and we have a Pokemon in the back that completely hardwalls all the fast and charge moves. You see me swapping out here because you kind of have an ABB line, and you kind of want to get out a potential fighting type Pokemon. As you can see here, this is exactly the reason why I went for this. I expected the opponent to have Cobalion in the back actually here as well, so maybe we're going to see that later as well, but like, predicting the opponent's teams can be kind of beneficial. But here, for example, actually no, never mind, I actually expect them to have Dragonite in the back. This is more of a team that you see more often, which would be actually very decent for us if they have Dragonite in the back, because our good boy there, Perrserker, should be able to deal with a Dragonite pretty easily. Let's take a look what we can do here. We can swap out immediately as the opponent going to go back into their Dragonite. As I said, very, very nice. I actually like didn't play this battles recently, so like actually funny to still realize this team there. It's something that you can't really benefit from. Like, if you know what the opponent going to have in the back based on the Pokemon that you face in the lead and in a Swampert, it's very, very great to have this kind of knowledge here. So you're going to see the opponent going for another Weather Ball. Doesn't really do too much damage. We are now at 2 charge moves and the opponent going to forfeit, but only really because you notice the opponent's line up here. Next opponent going to be a Pidgeot in the lead. This is going to be a little bit of a tricky one. We can go straight for the rock side, but they will be able to debuff me here before that with their Feather Dance. But if they go for the Brave Bird just like they did here, it's going to be a very crucial hit against the opponent, but they're going to stay in here even, and I can go for the Psycho Boost. They swap out into Tapu Fini. This is fine for us. We can either go down to our Perrserker, which I'm going to do here, which I kind of regret already. I don't know why I did this. I don't have anything to hit them. I have the better fast move against them, which does more damage compared to what our friend our cheap going to do here, but still it's not going to be the best matchup for us either. We're still going to be able to knock them out here with another charge move if they don't shield, and they don't shield. So we're still going to be able to realign. I guess it's a decent play because we can even go for another close combat here now. And now the opponent going to be 2 shields down, which is, I guess, a fair one here for us to deal with. We're going to let this first move go through. It's going to be the Feather Dance, which is going to be very nice, as we can swap out now, take the next charge move coming through against us, which is going to be another Feather Dance. And we can go for the Rock Slide here to knock them out, but no, they're going to go ahead and go into the Obstagoon. This is still fine though. Like, it's definitely still manageable to deal with this matchup here. But the thing that worries me the most here would be Obstruct, and this is exactly what they have, so I went for the no shield first, which might be a wrong play, I don't know, but it definitely helped us here to not take too much damage. I can go ahead and go for another Body Slam here. I feel like it does not do enough damage to knock out the opponent though. It does not, so we can get another fast move through, which is crucial here for sure. Obstruct coming through again, we're double debuff now. The opponent going to swap out into their Pidgeot. It's going to be a Feather Dance for sure. It's going to be such a tough matchup here. We're going to go for the payback with just more damage. Let's see if this is going to be enough after the debuff. It is, and we will be able to win this game. I actually thought that they still had the Obstacle with like 1 HP in the back, which would have been a little bit difficult, but like this is going to be very decent for us. We're going to encounter Dragonite in the lead. This is going to be actually a decent matchup later on for our Berserker if we're going to get into this matchup, but we're going to see now a Lantern coming in. We go for the Rock Slide. They're going to shield this move up. Why? I have no idea why you would do this. Like, honestly, like, you see how much damage the Psycho Boost, which is actually a stronger move, is doing there, but like, it did like basically 0 damage. So I don't know. I actually don't know what the opponent tried to do there. We will be able to just take this charge move coming in though. It's going to be a Surf. I think you're going to go for the bait here again, I guess, as they're going to go for another Surf, allowing me to now farm up a little bit extra energy as well, I feel. Can go for 3. This is not knocking them out. I sure went for the payback here. This is not a good idea for me. But I'm still going to be able to shield up this charge move, I guess, and get some extra energy, which can help out a little bit later on, as I can just spam those charge moves against the most likely incoming Dragonite here. It is going to be a Tapu Fini, never mind. It's going to be also pretty decent, as we're going to see here right now the Tapu Fini going to have to go up against our Deoxys here, which is going to be interesting as well. We're going to not get to the move just barely there. It's really, really sad for us because we really would like to get to the move, and we have to now basically hope that Berserker are going to be enough. But again, Tapu Fini matchup can be a little bit tricky. We have to let the one move go through because otherwise they're just going to no shield and go into their Dragonite there, and they would have access to the move Superpower to just one-shot us. So we're going to have to go for one more charge move here. Close combat does more damage than the Night Slash. We will be able to knock them out here, but it's still going to be not the most ideal matchup for us. We can go for one Body Slam, going to be able to get them pretty low, and we can now hopefully farm them down, but no, they just barely get to the full farm down there in time, and we're going to lose this game. Next opponent, let's take a look at this one. We're going to see a Galvantula in the lead. We go straight for the Psycho Boost, which is going to allow us to get them pretty low, but they're going to shield this move up anyway, and we're going to swap out because we don't want to get hit by a super effective lunge. Still, it's a little bit tricky because the opponent can go for the lunge now and basically get into a pretty decent matchup for them. We will be able to just go for the Body Slam spam, but this Tentacruel going to be able to just farm me all the way down if they want to, because we are just so, like, our damage output is just literally not there. But they're going to go for their own charge move, which is going to be an Acid Spray, which is really fine for us. There was no reason for us to ever shield this one, allowing us to still go for one payback here. And I might just going to stay in here and just go into my Deoxys. Honestly, I don't feel like Deoxys would have been the smartest idea. Don't know why I did this. Honestly, don't know why I did this. Should have went into my Berserker here. This was definitely a mistake by me, I feel like. Don't know why I didn't go into my Berserker. We see the Articuno coming in here, which should be a pretty okay matchup for us. But again, I feel like I kind of misplayed this one. Should have went to my Berserker instead, which just would have been able to take those Poison Jabs plus Acid Spray a little bit easier. So don't know what I really tried to do here, but again, it's going to be fine. We're going to see the Icy Wind coming through from the opponent. We can overfarm by a little bit and go for the charge move, I thought, but no, we are not going to do this. We're going to go ahead and go for our own shield, and I guess we're going to swap out now into the Deoxys, trying to farm them all the way down, and we're going to be able to succeed in this. We can take this charge move, and the opponent going to go down now with his next counter coming through here. The opponent going to go for another charge move with their own Galvantula. Lunge is not going to knock me out. The Psycho Boost is coming through. We are double debuffed already. It's not going to do a ton of damage, but it's going to put them perfectly into the range for 2 foul plays as they go for the next charge move here as well. Going to try to debuff me here, but this is not really any issue for us. We can just go ahead and go for the foul play spam, and this is going to knock them out for sure. Berserker coming in clutch here, and we can go ahead and take it the next opponent. Just in the lead, horrible lead for us. We can swap out into our Dubwool, getting out the Cobalion. Again, we kind of get hardwalled here from the beginning. The lead was already hardwall. This is kind of hardwall. We are not really able to do anything with our own Dubwool here, sadly, as we don't run a Wild Charge, which is something that you can run. You can run a Wild Charge, which would give you a neutral move to hit the opponent here. But I feel like the payback coverage kind of helps out a little bit more. But it really depends, it really depends, especially as you run the Say Swap here anyway. It might be even better for you to go for the Wild Charge, but I always like to have two answers for something like a Ghost type if you have a Deoxys defense in the lead, because yeah, Deoxys defense definitely is not really ideal for Ghost type Pokemon. As you're going to see here, the Berserker coming in against the Jellicent, going to have a pretty decent matchup here. They're going to go for the Surf most likely. No, they're going to go for the Shadow Ball already. That's kind of wild. Let's take a look what we can do here. We can go for our own foul play against the opponent, as we're going to see now the shield coming up, as we are going to get our own shield up as well. They seem to be weak against me in the back. It's going to be a Alolan Ninetales. We will be able to resist those charge moves, but I kind of want to swap out here eventually, as we're going to be able to go for another charge move here as well. Those close combats going to hit them hard, as we can swap now into our own Deoxys. We can take this incoming Dazzling Gleam pretty easily, and we're going to have some decent energy here as well. We should go for the charge move already. We're going to go for the Rock Slide. Can we go for the next charge move before they can farm us down? This is the real question here, and it's going to be a CMP tie. This might be actually a difficult one now to win. If a Shadow Ball is going to knock us out, there's going to be a loss for us. Let's take a look at this one. Does it knock us out? It's going to be the Shadow Ball, and we actually still bottle this game. This is wild. This is even wilder than Arsenal bottling in the Premier League, but yeah, we're going to have here a very decent one against us. We're going to have the Articuno, going to be able to go for the Rock Slide here, double super effective move. If this hits, this Pokemon gonna go down. But actually they can go for the Icy Wind, which is going to make this a little bit more tricky, but we can swap out here right now into our Berserker, which will be able to resist all those charge moves coming in, as we can go ahead and go for the foul play. The cool thing here is we're going to get out of this matchup in general with a ton of energy. We can just go ahead and go for a foul play later on after this one and farm them all the way down afterwards as well, because it should not knock them out yet because of the debuff. Actually should win for the close combat instead, because this might be a little bit tricky, but no, we can knock them out. That's totally fine. We have a shield advantage now, and we're going to get out the Cobalion, which now can take one huge close combat into their face, going to get around half of the health of the opponent gone here, as they can go ahead and go back into our Deoxys. This is going to be a Stone Edge, so we're going to shield this move up. Let's see what's coming in. A Charizard is coming in. This is just the Charizard on top, as we will be able to go for the Rock Slide against the opponent, and we just do all those silly jokes today. We're going to be able to shield up the Dragon Claw from them, as the Rock Slide going to most likely knock them out. Charizard is pretty squishy, but actually they're still going to be able to survive, and we're going to go into our Dubwool, which has to take one Blast Burn now. This might be a little bit tricky now, because they went for the bait there. This will maybe actually win them the game. Let's take a look at this. Is Dubwool good enough to win this game here for us? One more Body Slam would be enough to knock them out, but they can still go for one charge move. Can we still win this with our Deoxys here? Let's take a look. We can farm them all the way down, and this is going to be a very good game. And next opponent, we're going to have Ninetales in the lead, which we will be able to go for one Rock Slide here against them, as this will be able to do some super effective damage. As you can see, going to do some very decent damage against them. Getting out the Obstagoon is very important, as our Pokemon in the back, while it has close combat, doesn't really want to face this one, while our Dubwool is going to have a very decent matchup here. Our fast move is double super effective, and they cannot really take our Body Slams either, as you can see here. We're going to get the shield from them, and also we're going to be able to even go ahead and shield this move up if we wanted to, but no, we can just let this move go through, get some extra energy here, and we don't really have to realign. We know that they're going to have a Pokemon in the lead that we can beat with both of our Pokemon, but this Pokemon here is going to be a Swampert, which I don't want to face with my Deoxys or with my Berserker in the back. I'm gonna be able to go for one Psycho Boost. They're gonna get the shield, and I can swap out now into my Berserker. We have to basically shield up anything that's coming up to our way here, so we're going to get most likely the close combat of them. Okay, that's kind of wild. That's going to do some decent damage, not putting it into the farm down range yet, I feel like, but maybe it is just barely the farm down range. We have to find out shortly. They're going to swap out into their Ninetales, going for a Weather Ball here, Weather Ball Ice after a double debuff. Might do some decent damage, but not enough to really threaten us either, as we can go ahead and go for one close combat. And this is not enough. We can go for another one here to knock out the opponent's Swampert. And this is going to be it for this game. Next game coming up, most likely the final game of this video today, a little bit of a longer one. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like on the video, and I hope you also enjoy now this shielded Psycho Boost from the opponent, as you're going to be able to now go ahead and do the same game that we did before against the Galvantula. In comes now, though, I think it was a Walrein. We will be able to go for one Body Slam here, and it's now going to be a little bit of a trickier matchup. Two Weather Balls here, no, it's not Weather Ball. Icicle Spear here should definitely knock us out, so we will be able to go for some Body Slam spam still. Sadly, because of the debuff, we're not going to do too much damage here against the opponent. The debuff really is crucial for this matchup, as we basically do no damage against them. They still would be forced to throw, I thought, but no, we sadly just literally die on the charge move. I could shield this move up, but I don't want to. Earthquake is not going to do too much damage, especially compared to the damage that a Galvantula can do against us. We're gonna go straight for the Psycho Boost again. Going to get another shield and swap out now into our Perrserker. We have to shield this move up, even though it's most likely going to be a launch, you think, but no, we're going to just let this move go through immediately. Turns out I cannot count, and I will be able to shield up another launch here. Now we are double debuffed, now we are not in a range where we can knock them out, and this was a really bad move by me. I should have just thrown earlier. For whatever reason I didn't do this. I would have helped me out so much more if I thrown before the second launch there from the opponent, especially now seeing that they're going to have a Cresselia in the back. This might have lost us the game. We have to let this move go through here. It's going to be just a Grass Knot. I try to go for 2 charge moves here, but I will be only able to reach one of them, which is really bad for us. Grass Knot coming through again. I have to kind of go for the Rock Slide here and try to get them lower, but this is going to be such a close game at the end. We have to get them lower even further than this here. I will be able to shield up the next charge move again, but I might have to go for the Psycho Boost instead here, because no, actually it's still going to be able to reach the Rock Slide in time. Does this really help us though? This is going to be the question. Are they in range for one foul play from our Perrserker? This is going to be very close here. 1 HP in a dream. Is this going to be enough to win us the game? Let's take a look at this. It is, and we will be able to win this final one. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like and also subscribe if you haven't already. On the left side you're going to see most likely a video, and on the right side most likely as well. So check those out, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.